Hi
Hi.
everyone.
Day
Day
12.
12.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know a whole lot about us, I kind of keep it on the down low, but I actually am a self-defense and martial arts instructor. So today now what does that have to do with PTSD? Stay tuned. I'll tell you in a minute. But um, one of the things that we wanted to do is just talk about anxiety, depression, and how it affects people. And what I do in my courses is that I start out with a question to everyone, parents and kids, in the session. And the question that I start with is, who has experienced bullying? So I have everyone raise their hand, and then I give specific situations in school, at a park, at church, at work. And the thing that stands out is that the number of adults, about 80% of them, identify through our conversation that self-defense is a verbal way of managing conflict. That's where it starts before it ever gets to any kind of physical. And the adults didn't realize that they were actually being bullied even as adults, by neighbors, by people in their HOA, by people in their church, by people at work. And so what we wanted to talk about today is the trauma that happens when people are where they feel powerless and they end up being in a bullying situation. So we, as far as making it kind of relevant and timely, I feel a great deal of compassion toward the other police officers that were on the scene that where George Floyd was killed. The person who was on Mr. Floyd's back was the supervisor, and inside the police department, being a paramilitary and or fraternal organization, there's a tremendous amount of bullying that happened, and it has to be a tremendous weight for those officers to have to make a choice between going against their supervisor and going against their culture. And you can even see it on the faces of some of them as they walked around, the indecision. So bullying is a thing, and it causes a tremendous amount of pain and strife in everyone that experiences it.
Yeah, we touched lightly on our kids. We live in a predominantly white community, and our kids have loved growing up here, but they have not been exempt from the racial taunts because they are different. And we're not, our daughter experienced I don't know what you call it, incident of bullying. And we don't really like that term in terms
Yeah.
of like you're only bullied if you allow yourself to be bullied. So, but the manifestation of it for her in fifth grade, you know, caused his inner martial artist defense dad to come out and to learn that was his cue that he needed to equip her. And likewise with our boys, they've gone through different periods, and so he's equipped them with tools to how to mitigate or to how to kind of neutralize situations.
Well,
Would you say?
I think the sad part about it though is the betrayal that happens, because we're sending our kids to places that we would consider to be under the care and nurturing of adults,
Yeah.
and to later find out that those adults have issues around wielding power over the kids, and in some cases being abusive, verbally abusive, psychologically abusive. It's heartbreaking to have that happen, and that in and of itself is another trauma, because who do you trust? And
Right. Right.
there's lots of examples of that.
Yeah. I mean, we have one of our children, had a really tough time in athletics because people that he thought were his teammates didn't stand up for him when two of the kids on his team decided to racially taunt him. And this wasn't just an isolated thing, it was an ongoing thing. And so, as a parent, you wonder who noticed it. Like, didn't someone see it? Didn't someone say something? And so, I talked to our son today about it and had his permission to just share. What he said was, if kids weren't so afraid of what their friends think, then they would probably have stood up for me. Let that sink in. It's a painful thing from a child to have played little league with these boys for as long as we've been here, and then to experience, racial bullying, if you will, on his own team by his own teammates, and not be defended or not be stood up for. There is a huge sense of betrayal in that. And so when we talk about, the traumas that our kids are overcoming, they're still dealing with incidents like that. And so, we're not lay down and roll over, let this happen to us people. We're active in our healing. We have conversations. We are very proactive in letting our kids know that if they need assistance to get through this, any lingering pain surrounding, what they've experienced as children, that we're here for them to do that. But I think it's important, as parents, that we have these conversations with our kids, that if your kids witness other kids being unkind, whether it's, them showing their elitist beliefs or their racist beliefs, that they would say something, that they would speak up and defend the person that is being interrogated or being attacked. I think it starts with our kids. We're not going to go anywhere as a society unless our children learn that they need to stand up and have a voice, that they need to stand up for their friends. So anyway.
Well, I'll kind of wrap it up this way, is to say that, most of the kids in our community have been raised by really good families, really good parents. And yet the influence of social media and what's cool and what's hip is powerful. You know it. We all know it. But the kids are being put in a situation where they're being forced to choose between what's right, and what's popular.
Yeah.
And so we have to make sure that we as adults are modeling good behavior. When we see something, we need to say something. Mm-hmm. We can't go, oh, well, I don't know if so-and-so on social media might say something back to me, or I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and my eyes closed. You're modeling that same behavior with your kids, and they won't rise to the occasion unless they've seen it modeled and had practice and had support. So model it. If you see something, say something. Yeah. Well, you're about to see 25 push-ups, but before you do nominate, I did want to say one thing. She's going to say 25. Feel free to hear 2 to 5 push-ups for 25 days. Whatever you can do, because it's not about the push-ups.
We want you to join us. If you feel compelled to support us on this journey, then get on your knees or your feet and do your push-ups with us. I want to nominate some good friends of ours, our sister and brother in Christ, the Pearsons, Bruce and Sybil Pearson. I don't know what you want to talk about this subject. If you have anything to say, or if you just want to record yourselves doing 25 push-ups, that's okay too. But we invite you to join our challenge and build awareness for whatever. You guys have strong voices in the community, and we would be blessed to hear your perspective.
So knee push-ups are one option. Gigi's actually going to do us the grace of showing us wall push-ups. So if you can, do wall push-ups for him today.
All right. Well,
yeah.
We got to turn this.
We're going to move this so you can actually see if a standard push-up is a challenge. Let's give you an option.
All right.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Milo and I are going to do the regular one. So take a look. There you go. That works too. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Hey, thanks. Bye, everybody.